So, these are all the swatches I haven't put away since I started filming the Schminke series back in October, because I got busy filming and decided to stop putting away swatches. And so the swatch book has gotten a bit out of control. I don't actually know that I've got enough swatch sheets to put stuff away. The other thing that's going on is this is the special effects binder. So this is all the shimmer, glow in the darks, holographic color shifters, all the really fun stuff. But I know that there's stuff in here that I haven't touched for 2-3 years. And so it's time for some of it to go. So I think we're going to start with culling this book. And then we'll get into putting some stuff away. I did get a few new color shifters. I posted a short about them. They are holographic. They're super cool. They're the new Cosmic Creations line that comes out New Year's Eve. So today, when I'm filming this live, I'm going to come enough light to show them. That's what they do. They're really fun. I've only done one painting with them, but so far I've had quite a lot of fun with them. So I know that none of this is changing. In the yellows, though, I think it's time for Margarita to go. How many colors do we think I'm going to cull from this book? Actually, could be a lot. It could be very few. Margarita. I'm actually going to Etsy to look at what Laura has kept in the shop. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's been pulled from the shop for new colors that are coming out in the next couple months. There were about 100 colors that were pulled from sale. So I'm not going to keep stuff that's been pulled from sale, I don't think, just because I just don't need them. So this yellow exists. Canary yellow does. Just yellow and just not. Neither of those exist. Is there? Oh, there's a big difference. We go under the stone. I'm gonna put a question mark next to that one. It's a possibility. I never use this. I've never used this before. I've never used gilded pine. I like that, I like that, I like that. You can see. Thank you. You've got a nice, like, similar effect to you. I think there's a huge difference. Blue. Oh, turquoise, of course. There is like almost no difference between these three. We are going to get rid of the color one. I'm going to keep those ones because I know I really like Nadia. I've used it in a piece I did for somebody else, and I know that I like tiny cactus designs. I think that's one of like 3 colors I have. Blues are where it gets a bit more complicated. I have this many, and there's one that goes here, the witch goes there. So I just use one piece. I just search blue in the shop. Good, just have blue. Oh, what pages? Alright, we are going to get rid of this. Yes, I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm gonna get rid of indigo 2. Oh, 1 silver, 1 gold. Sure. Yeah, we do this one for my sister file. Yes. Purples. We are going to get rid of forget me not. We are going to get rid of eclipse. Can we get rid of purple as well? Maybe. Nope, purple is still in the shop, so it gets to stay. So let's get rid of you. I don't like use the ones that look gold on black very much these days. So there's no point in me having as many as I have. So what I'm probably gonna do is I'm gonna pull these all out of my shimmer palette, and then I'm gonna sit there and spin for like a few days until I make sure that they're actually what I want to get rid of. We are going to get rid of. Get rid of mermaid scales. No, maybe not. We're gonna get rid of this divine. I just don't use enough to justify having it. All the pinks still look the same. We are going to get rid of rose gold. We are going to get rid of Kepler. No, rose gold. We are going to get rid of Venus. These are reds. My two friends. I'm not a huge fan of soda. This is probably soft like soda. Scan. Oh, all the golds. Which ones do I like the most? We're gonna keep gold dust. We're going to get rid of none of them because I use gold all the time. But I don't actually use any of these gold. I only use the same gold over and over again. So I really should get rid of some of them. Let's make a decision. Let's get rid of this bright orange. Maybe not, because it's very different from these oranges. It's not Solar Flare, which was my favorite gold figure. But anything? Yeah. No. Okay. Silver's sterling goes here, and then black silver goes here. These are all color shifts, but not super shifts. I don't know what this one is, except that probably are, especially when we get into ghosts. These, let's think, actually, what did these I'm just going to keep the super shifters. These are normal ghosts, and these are things I use for less often. Here I get the entire Harry Potter collection, other than Neptune. Typhoon, Sapphire, Oblivion, Neptune, Scorpius, and what are the others? Honestly, can't find it. I never used them. I bought them and I didn't like them as much as I wish I did. So they never get used. They're really pretty though. They're not what I wanted, and because of that, I just don't reach for them. These are normal shifters. Follows. These are glitters. Shut crazy. And these are mini pants. Okay. That's cleared up. And now let's get into this book. So this is the swatch book that contains all the mats. It's sort of my color chip Bible. It includes everything, all of the mats, all of the everything. The only thing it doesn't include currently are the individual brand sheets, simply because I ran out of space eventually, and so they all live in their own binder. And so when I'm planning out a project where I'm planning to only use one brand, this binder contains sheets for each individual brand. 31 Purple Fish. Just a sneak peek of the new colors I've got. I haven't swatched them yet because I labeled them while I was away, but it means that when I'm planning this project, I know exactly what I've got from every individual brand, which is awesome. But this binder is all of the colors together in color order, other than these pages at the front. These are bolder colors, simply because they don't play super nice with others. These are the Pretty Excellent paints, because they are student grade and keep them around because sometimes when I'm planning out a project, I like to do the initial sketch or planning in non-professional paints. Not often, but often enough to still keep them around. And then these are the Derwent Graphitint on one side and Intense on the other. Again, they don't play super nicely with others, and so I just keep them separate, and they live in their own palettes. These, though, are what we needed. These are my color sheets. At the front, you have the swatches for each individual color. At the back, we have the individual pigments. So every color that I've got as a single pigment color in my palette is swatched in a square. So here you see all the PB27s, PB28s, here are the PG17s, PG18, PG23s, and so it means that when I'm planning a project, it's really easy to reference and go, oh, I need this color, oh, these are the shades I have of it, which one do I think is the right one for this project, or which do I think is the right one for this mixture. I love these cards. They are not updated as of a few weeks ago, so I'm going to have to spend some time over the next couple weeks updating them. But I'm also realizing I think I'm out of sheets, so it's a good thing I've ordered some from Amazon. They should be here by the end of next week. But we will see how much of this I can put away without actually needing those sheets. I don't think it'll be as many as I hope it'll be. So, oh, and then this at the back is mini palettes. So these are Artistic Isle bottle cap palettes, and then these are all other mini palettes. So this is my Beam wooden palette. This is a Boulder Colors dot card. This is a Cosmic Creations tiny round palette that's about this big. That was something she did in 2020. There were a number of them released. I have one of them, and I absolutely love it. It, for a long time, was the only shimmer palette I talked with. This is last year's Addison and Sedley's Advent Calendar Snowflake. This is another Boulder Colors mini palette. And then this is a mini ceramic palette from Artistic Isle. And Lisa Alden that is filled with paint on one side and then has a mixing section on the other. So if you've seen my videos where I've got a mini palette on my desk, I have one that's filled with paint in this collection, and I have one that I bought that's empty. And I absolutely love it. It's great. It makes me super happy. These are mini matte pans. So what was my travel palette before I filled the butterfly palette all those months ago. And then we have all of the color sheets. And they are organized the same way I have my markers organized and inks, because brain injury. All my art supplies are organized in the same color order, and so I use the Tombow color sheet to organize. And it's great because it makes it really easy to organize your markers, and then it makes it really easy also to like order your paints and stuff. And I like the order with starting with yellow and green and then ending with orange, black, gray, white. It works for my brain and it makes me quite happy. So we are going to get into this because this is going to take hours. It always does. But it's one of the things that keeps me sane is having my palette organized. Having my palette disorganized makes my brain feel a bit frazzled. And so right now, my brain's a little bit stressed. I haven't had my palette organized since about October, and it's been a bit much. So we are going to put things away. I'm also going to quickly check the table to see if there's any empty sheets on it, but I don't think there are. Just like it was here. There are clear plastic sheets for everything. But swatches. Oh, there's a swatch sheet. Oh, there are three. There are more than three? There are more than three. There are. Oh, at some point, previous me went, you should order swatch sheets. And I did. I like when I'm momentarily intelligent. I think what we're gonna do, I shouldn't have taken these out yet, is start by sorting these out. Because these are a mixture of everything, including the diluted swatches for projects and shimmer swatches for other projects. So we're gonna start by taking out all of the shimmer swatches. This is for a project that I think comes out tomorrow. I think the video releases stuff New Year's Day. So that's, yeah. And now we have to sort through this giant pile. So I am going to, that's ink. It's literally, so I swatch everything. So all my inks and everything is swatched as well. We're just gonna make some piles. These are Schmincke large swatches. These are full strength swatches. Full strength, diluted, diluted, full strength, full strength. Full strength, full strength, full strength, full strength, full strength, full strength. Diluted, full strength, diluted, diluted, full strength, diluted, full strength, full strength, full strength, full strength, full strength, full strength, diluted. Ink, ink. Oh, I saw some more ink ones. Oh, no, they're not ink. They're some of them are. Apparently, I just stash swatch cards everywhere. These are ink and embossing swatches, so they will go away at some point. These were all Christmas and birthday card swatches. Random gray. Ooh, urban gray. I finally found it. It's shocking urban. And then there's a more Schmincke's. Yep, that's actually a Schmincke swatch, and not this weird little card. That is actually pigment white, lamp black, black, brown, blue, green, burgundy, mimosa, cosmic buttercup. These are the swatches for if I had to pull a 21 color palette out of my palette. Some of them. Dragon fruit. These are from color matching saddle pads and show jackets for the event, so that I knew what colors they were. Diluted, that's titanium. Eventually, manganese blue. Sap green, sap green. Got the number 10. sap green, sap green, sap green, sap green, sap green, sap green. I must have been looking at something. That's the bean Mayan green, which is so pretty. Let's get that. Lion green. I got it just before I saw the schmink stuff. So I haven't actually played around with that. So just before. There's been chaos from that series over the course of several days and then editing it for weeks. But it's such a fun series to do. Urban Brown. Forest Color. Grab that in fun. Urban Gray. Urban Black. Grab that. I'm going to quickly double check these to make sure they're all 75% swatches because I've messed that up before. These are just list the ones. Yep, cool. So these are all going to go back in the tin. I don't use them. I'm going to double check that these are all schminkers swatches and not accidentally pure color swatches. I don't think they are them. I don't think I've got any pure color swatches for this set of colors. I'm going to need to keep it short. Why am I doing all this? Oh, this should just be flat sheets. Because the schminky ones do go in sheets. So, what was our first schminky series? It was Volcano. Oh, Tundra. Tundra. And it was Volcano. And the voice here. And it was Shire. Then it was Urban. It was Deep Sea. Then it was Haze. Those are Haze. Then it was Forest. Then it was Galaxy. Oh, Desert. Let's see. Desert Orange. Normally I'd be caring more about like what order these colors are in. I find that I don't really care at this moment. Not that I might not care later. Make sure these washes before I get rid of them. I don't want to get rid of them, but like stick them off to the side to deal with much later. Normally I'd be putting these in order, like the way I film the videos. I find myself not caring at this moment because there are so many colors that need to go with. Volcano Yellow, Glacier Forest, Forest Blue, Tundra Pink, Tundra Orange, one of my favorite colors, Galaxy Black. I don't think it ended up in the final 14. I think it was 14. In all honesty, it's been so long since I edited that final part. The final part was actually one of the first things I edited in that series. So it's been about 2.5 months since I edited it. Trial, forest, leaves, oopsie, desert, oopsie, oopsie, forest, tundra, leaves, volcano, galaxy, 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 tundra, urban, oopsie, what place here? Desert, forest, desert, urban, volcano. I haven't lost any of them in months they've been out of these sheets. Volcano, haze, glacier. So that is the complete Schminke series. So these are basically what I used to plan out the video. I did all these color swatches, and then I sort of went from there. This is also how I figured out which ones I still needed. These lovely squares. I don't know if I can make the lighting any brighter, but I'm going to try. So now we have this giant pile of things. And I am going to roughly sort them by like what they seem to be. So we have green, 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 green. We're gonna do greens and blues. I'm gonna do like purples, and then pinks and reds. Yellows and oranges always get the same pile because I can never quite figure out where some of them go. I'm gonna go over there. You go there. You're blue. You have a home already. You have a home already. You have a home. You have a home. You don't. So that's 75%. Oh, that's a very hot thing. There's the yellows. So many new pinks and purples. I guess I knew about that. You'll just get an entire grab bag's worth of 31 purple swatches, pinks and purples. So you'd expect pinks and purples to be included in that grab bag. Well, let's move over there for now. This is just a rough sort, like things are going to move, but if I don't do some sort of sort, like I'm not going to get any idea of where things go. It's a green. Purple, 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 pink. Gray. You go in the blue, sorry. Very unique. I finally caved and got quinacridone gold deep. People have been talking about it since I did the quinacridone video and quinacridone gold. And I didn't think I needed it, but it's been sitting in my Jackson's cart for months. And then I went to my local art store and had a couple tubes of it, and so I've finally added it to the collection. I haven't actually compared it to my quinacridone gold yet, so I don't actually know how different it is yet. But I am quite excited to test it out. What are we going to start with? I want to start with. I want to start with yellows / yellow oranges and browns, because I think those are going to be the hardest in a way. It's always hard to decide like what's a brown and what's sort of, just make sure we get these pinks and brown. These are all pinks and purples. Great. So here's yellows. Here's red or brown. So I already know where some things go, and what I'm actually going to do is start by putting things back where they go. I don't always do that, but it does make the process significantly easier when I do it, because I'm not going, oh, where's your home? These are what we have in this little plant. And you'll see that like some of these browns lean more one direction than the other. This is kind of crimson. There's something there. Goes to buttercup, and then buff titanium, and buff titanium, buttercup. Buttercup. This is Daniel's Rottenberg. Everything that goes in here is found this again. And now we just get to find homes for everything else. So this yellow clearly does not go in here, but add yellow deep. Where are you gonna find your home? I think which one's a yellow? Yeah. Unless I put this in the same. Yep, no way. So that's kind of somewhere. You're too dirty, everybody. But you're also too yellow for in here. Like here. What goes there? So I'm doing yellow. Will you theoretically find a home with the yellows that create you, which are sure, I will let you find a home there. So we're gonna scooch some stuff around so that this little dude can find a home. Normally I would pull everything out, but I'm feeling lazy. I don't want to. Instead, we're just going to slide some stuff around. Into the home. And I'm going to insert it into the spreadsheet so that I know where I found it from. That might be the most important part of this process, is making sure that it's logged. Making sure it's logged in the spreadsheet. There. Now this yellow gets to find its home after lemon yellow tea. Insert row below. Alright, this yellow's done. Let's do reds. So strawberries then go in here somewhere. Let's switch these over instead. So all of these colors are coming up. I already know that. So I'm just gonna start by pulling everything out. And hopefully I leave space over everything. it starts quite like corally, the red section, but I do like that because it keeps the like more corally reds separate from the hot pinks, because I really couldn't figure out how to put them all together in the same section. So I appreciate that about this layout of the palette. Most of these are, so about 50% of the red section are single pigment colors, which is rare for this palette. Really, I'm realizing you can see like that. Push this over. Put the sheets down. The red section is not actually my biggest section. Oranges is 2 full sheets and part of a third. Blues, I think, are now officially on 3 sheets. The chocolate oranges were the first to be on 3 sheets. I don't actually like orange that much, but apparently I have a lot of them. I think it's in my quest to find orange that I actually really like. A lot of my like lighter oranges are all 31 Purple Fish colors because I love how well they granulate and how pretty they look when they granulate. And then this underneath. So strawberry's gonna go in here, and some of those browns are fun because some of them are too red to have orange, be orange undertones. Like they don't have enough yellow in them to be a yellow. And this is just sort of how my swatch sheets work. Like it's all about the undertones of the color and where they seem to fit best. It used to be a lot more like out. Oh, where's your top swatch? Oh, that's fun. Oh, your top swatch. Okay. But now it's just this very sort of organized chaos of a palette. So this and this and this and that. That's there, that's there. That's there. What's this? Sure. Yeah. So Schminke Brown. Those are all there. These are all over here. Alright, now we got plan. Look at this. So, I'm actually happy with where this is. Let's find a home for you. There's your home. Your home's right there. So this is PBR29. It's new to my palette. And only from small makes it quite difficult to track different pans. There's only one store in Canada that sells them small pans in person. And so I had to work quite hard to be able to find pans, but I did. This is obviously a red. The question is really big as your home. It's too dark to be a pink. It's full of the pinks, but I don't think you'll find your home with the pinks. Unless I'm totally wrong. You will find your home with, nope, you don't. So, where is your home in this section? You're here, you're here. It's in the red. I don't know where you're gonna find your home. Maybe I'll find it as I move things and put things away. Maybe I'll just feel right. No, I think it's gonna be after Volcano Orange. Like, it seems too light to be the right home for it, but at the same time, like, nothing else feels correct. And so I think we're just gonna go with what feels least incorrect, which isn't my favorite way to approach this. As a rule, I like being happy with where I put things, but I don't think, except if it goes here. If it goes at the end before we go into like the softer browns. Oh, yeah, that's where we go. I think we go up with mocha. Cool. It is what I like about this swatch system, is that I sort of just get to move things around until I end up with an organization that feels good. So we have my Schminke Red going in after mocha. Lost my red sheet. Mocha, insert, or below. It's red. And there's strawberry going in after alpaca. Ew, I was looking at the wrong alizarin crimson. I was going, how did I get this sheet so wrong? Because I was looking at 41 Purple Fish alizarin crimson and not Cosmic Creations alizarin crimson. Then we have Tommy going in after 70. Yes. Insert roll. Cinnamon going in after the number. We have iron chrome going up the mostly going. Great. Now we have to put these on. Those are not their sheets. These are your sheets. Once I tidy up the list, I will add a link to it into the description, like I did in the organizing the palette video from a couple months ago. For now, though, it's a bit of a mess as I add stuff, so I fix this. So, if you want to see what all the colors are and who they're by, it will be added to the description, but it's going to be probably a couple days. After this, we're going to do oranges, and I think we're going to do blue, greens, teals, turquoises. I'm going to leave blacks and grays and whites for last because it's the easiest. That's also why I'm using pinks and purples, because they're far easier than the blues and greens and teals are going to be to sort out. So I want to leave the stuff that I know is going to be less hard to place to the end. And just like that, here's a sheet that is perfectly organized. There's the reds. Let's do the second. Let's just go sheet. Overall, the number one thing with this spreadsheet is it just keeps me organized. And by keeping me organized, it also helps just keep the palette in order. Then I put things away. It doesn't help when I don't put things away. But when I put things away, it keeps the palette in order. And it's always lovely. So there are the rest of the red browns. I really like this new brown. From Roman Small. Quite pretty. I don't know if they've had it out for a while and I've just missed it, or if it is totally new. I am also enjoying that you can get their paints in half cans now. What I am not enjoying is that they went from being plastic free to having what seems like a lot of plastic for a half pan. So I'm not actually buying the half pans that often, but I couldn't get that pan in stock in a full pan. So I did end up buying it in a half pan. That being said, I wish I'd been able to find it in a half pan, in a full pan, because I just dislike how much plastic the half pans seem to have. It feels unnecessary that they went from having packaging that was plastic free to having half pans wrapped in plastic. This palette is made up of, specifically this section is made up of so many colors that look pretty similar. At some point, much like the shimmer palette, it's gonna need a bit of a cull. For now, though, I'm quite happy with it. It's sort of a good balance of brands. I've got Daniel Smith, Holbein, 31 Purple Fish, Michael Wilcox, Winsor Newton, Cosmic Creations, Magello, and a whole bunch of handmade shops. So I quite like the variation of this section. I think other than the blues, this yellow section has the most variation out of any section of my palette. And it is one of the sections that makes me the happiest, because there are so many yellows, like Dirty Mustard, and Cooper, like you wouldn't expect it to granulate and then do. And I love having this from the Street Shore. Oh, and this one from Nibs. Love that color. It's great. On the other hand, there are lots of oranges in this palette section. Well, it's the orange section. But I went through a phase of trying to really like orange before realizing that really the only orange I was ever going to like was Bean Pumpkin. And I should just buy a pan of it and stop like faffing around and trying other oranges. And that is what I ended up doing. I do like Cosmic Creations Papaya and Cutie. I use both of them, but like when I'm needing like a moody orange, it's always going to be Bean Pumpkin. It's never not Bean Pumpkin. It's just got like the right level of moodiness for pretty much anything I'm working on. But you can definitely see like all the oranges I tried in my quest to like orange. Specifically because when I discovered I loved Bean Pumpkin, it was out of stock everywhere. And so I was desperate for the color, and you couldn't actually find it anywhere. So, tried to find other oranges I liked, and just decided that, you know, I really didn't like orange. So I have it in both the Spectrum 11 palette, which is the wooden disc palette, which is how I discovered I really liked the orange, and then I have a pan of it now. White Knight Naples Orange is probably the closest orange on the market to it, though it doesn't quite have the right level of moodiness. Orange Haze has the moodiness, but is sort of too dark. It's not bright enough. I finally got another tube of quinacridone burnt orange this weekend. I had finished my tube a few months ago, and I was struggling to find a replacement because Daniel Smith quinacridones are hard to get these days, I'm finding. This is my least favorite quinacridone gold. If you've watched the quinacridone gold video, you'll know why. But overall, other than all of the oranges that I bought before deciding that really the only orange I liked was this orange. I do genuinely like and use almost every color in this section. I'd say the only color that I haven't used is probably Yellow Orange by Schminke and Saturn Red. Both were bought when Beam Pumpkin was out of stock because they were what seemed the closest based on online swatches. Neither's close. One is like bright yellow and the other is far too bright of an orange for what I needed. There are 4 swatches that I think are going away in this. Knowing my luck though, I'll put away all of these and then while I'm tidying up the studio, I will find other swatches. So I'm not going to put the palette back together until my studio is a bit tidier. Just so that if there are any rogue swatches, I do find them before it goes back together. Because that would be a bit of a disaster. I've done it before. I've gotten to the end of putting away swatches and like suddenly discovered that, you know, there's a swatch at the beginning of blues, which is I think 3 pages long, that I have skipped over. And that's always a bit much to deal with. Move these ones up here. It's a bit short on space. So, these are our 4 colors for this section. More there. Sure, we'll put you there. You are definitely up there. Let's say you're before Castel Brown. You are right there. Goldenrod. I would say you're there. So, I always move them all because the number of times that I've accidentally forgotten to move one enough, like I've needed to move 5 and I've only moved 4, is too many to count. And so now I just move all of the swatches so that before I even start putting anything away, just so that if I have miscounted, I haven't actually started to put anything away because like theoretically these could go in a sheet right now. But if I do that and I've messed this up somewhere, then I have to take them all out of the sheet. And I don't want to do that. So instead, I'm just going to move everything around now. And then I'm going to make sure that everything has a spot. So like by now I know that I've got this right because there's 1 card left. But you always want to double check. There. So now we're going to be Dana Smith Queen Gold, so the smallest Queen Gold. Here's insert, rows, row below, and 10 minutes more. So quinacridone gold deep is quinacridone deep gold. Quinacridone deep gold. Oh, I wrote it wrong on this watch. Whatever. It's gonna be correct in the spreadsheet. Then we have Daisy Lee Laughter Schminke Yellow. Insert, goes below. And we inserted 4 because Cosmic Goldenrod is next up after Unit. Insert rows, row below. And then after beach is insert rows below. Urban Brown. Alright. We should have 3 swatch sheets. We do have 3 swatch sheets. We did have 3 swatch sheets. We do have 3 swatch sheets. Okay. Now let's start sliding these up. I love these corny things. I have to say, I do like the new ones better because they no longer have a hole at the bottom. The new ones are just flat, and so the cards don't like attempt to slide out and don't slide around as much. That being said, they have raised their prices, and so it makes switching all the sheets to the new ones. Like, I'm not gonna do it. Also, it would be super wasteful for the number of these sheets I had, but these sheets are a little bit annoying because the cards do tend to slide around. I also still have the diluted swatches, like you can see that some of them are stacked underneath, the ones that have come out. I don't, when I'm putting in the new colors, deal with the diluted swatches being out anymore for new colors. It makes it a bit too complicated, and so I just go through after and I slide them where they belong. It's a little bit more time consuming, but it does make the process of sorting swatches easier, not having to worry about the diluted swatches, so I've just pulled them from the stacks and it makes it so much easier. These cards also don't have, these cards are just the color name and the color and the brand. And some of them have a silver dot on them. A silver dot means that they're an odd fan shape, and so they're like the 31 Purple Fish paints, which don't live in my studio palette because they're not a standard half tone or green paint stones or anything like that. That dot just means like when I'm looking for them, they're not going to be in my palette. All of the pigment information for all my colors and everything is left in my spreadsheet. And then I have the like single swatch cards in the book here for single pigment colors. And they are all separate. So these are swatches of everything. And then if I'm planning a video and I need just single pigment colors or planning a project and I'm looking for single pigment colors for a mix, I have all these single pigment color reference cards. I find it's the way it works best, like putting the pigment numbers on these cards makes it too complicated, especially when so many of these colors are pigment mixes. So I just don't do it. It makes my life easier. And I like having all of the information in the spreadsheet because it means that it's always at my fingertips. Like I don't have to have this book with me. At one point, this book was easy to carry. We are far past it being portable and easy to carry. It is no longer something that travels to art stores with me very often. At one point, it was for now. So if I'm going to an art store, like it's going to be the single brand book because it's so much easier to just like look and see what I have. Like here's everything I own from Schminke. Here's all the first gallery. This just makes it so much easier than dealing with all the individual swatches. I think. Oh yeah, I said I was going to do blues and greens next. That seems like a solid plan. Anything else to do? Well, I could do pinks and purples if I wanted to do it easily, but I feel like I should keep trying hard. So I feel like if I go to pinks and purples, like I won't want to do blues and greens, but things get done. And so we're gonna do them. And then maybe we'll put away my 31 purple fish paints because I finally got big tins. I could not find the same tins that the original stuff's in, these big ones. I've talked to other friends that have them. They can't find them anywhere anymore either. I did find these ones though, which are slightly smaller. I'll lose about a row of paints, but they are bigger than what I have right now, and I was out of time, so I needed a tin anyways for these paints. So they will be finding a home. Like, clearly, they're double stacked in this. So I don't know where my magnetic sheets are though, which is the one downside because I magnetic sheet my pans for 31 purple, the tins for 31 purple fish, not the pans, because I find it works better. These are all blues. This is all blue. Alright. So there's our stack of blues and greens and all that fun stuff. Here's the bottom sheet. I'm going to start by putting away stuff. That makes this easier. We have, what goes after sage trees? Swap these all out. And let's play the tidy up game. Clearly, I'm bad at putting my own stuff away. A lot of this stuff is new though. A lot of the maybe about 50% of it's new. I'm also just really bad at hiding the swatches when I'm working on a whole bunch of projects. And because this is a mix of Schminke stuff and other projects I was working on, Why are all my sap greens out? There must have been a reason sap greens were out, but I honestly don't know. It's literally every sap green I own is out. So after spring haze, we have pea. After Shire olive, we have permanent sap green by Jackson's. Then things are nude and sap green clearly, because we diluted there. We have Rosa Gallery sap green. Somebody on Facebook must have asked a question about sap green, and so my decision. It was Amber. Amber and I were talking about sap green. She asked which was my favorite, and instead of saying which was my favorite, I went, "Here's every sap green I own." Yeah, that's how I problem solve. And the core, because really there are so many sap greens, and like it's hard to advise which one's my favorite. Like it changes based on the day, and like there are some I don't like. Oh, and the Roman Smalls and the Grimbatcher ones aren't in my palette. I stole those swatches from Mom. Because I am productive like that. To be fair, like half of the paints used in the Schminke series were stolen from Mom's palette. This is her Schminke super granulating collection, and so I just bought the ones that she didn't have. Otherwise, it would have been a very expensive series to make. It was still an expensive series to make, but it was less expensive because I stole a whole bunch of stuff from Mom. Anything else going in here? Nope. Toss those away. What goes in here? Oh, you go in there. I know that. No, nope. Great. Does anything go in here? I don't think so. You go in here. I already know that. And I think River Tears goes in here. Let's double check. Ocean Breeze. Not looking at that. Yeah. Call up Lucia. River Tears. Look at me go. What's this other one? Right here. There's 31 purple fish in the go though. You go here. It's a game of finding people's homes. Things homes. They're not people, they're paints. Manganese blue hue is here. Cerulean, Misty Morning is here. Honestly, Cerulean goes there, but let's double check. Am I correct? Manganese blue hue. Randall Smith Cerulean blue. Misty Morning. Glacier Breeze. Holbein Cerulean blue. Look at me go. You think I paint with this palette every day. And it hasn't been like a month since I touched it. Where do you go, Da Vinci? You go up here. No, you don't. Da Vinci will go home. Lapis, your home is down here. Salt Two-Part, your home is here. So maybe that is your home, Da Vinci. We'll go next to Yemen. And I spelled wrong on the swatch. No, it is. Yeah, look at that. Misty morning. This is your home. Alright. Where can we go? Now, take a look through these and make sure that there's nothing that leans sort of more indigo-y in the purples. So my dark purples do lean fairly indigo, so I'm not super worried. So that tone is not with the purples, it's with the certain colors. Okay. Let's start with, well, what actually finds its home with the blues? Is a good question. So far, I think very little. Peacock is going to find its home with the blues, so is Larkspur. Your turquoise. You're going to find its home with the blues. Your turquoise. You're going to find your home with the turquoises. You're going to find your home with the turquoises. You're going to find your home with the turquoises. You're going to find your home with the turquoises. You're going to find your home up there. You're all greens. Cool. We're going to start with the blues. Because they're here. And the blues are officially getting their third sheet. So, let's do this thing. Let's clear out the frame. My head covers the camera. Falling on the floor is not my strong suit, but this clearly doesn't work on the desk. And so, you're just going to forgive me for the fact that I keep getting my head in the shot. Because I am using a significant amount of floor space, and, well, you wouldn't know it from filming. My desk is actually tiny. Like, tiny. So, when I do something like this, it happens sitting on the floor. And I'll honestly so does palette organization, because space is key. All of these new blues are actually pretty similar. Oh, I haven't screwed this up. Yeah, no, Galaxy Blues in a pan. I just went, is Galaxy Blue one of the ones I only got as a dot? But no, it is not that silly. It is an actual pen. Okay. I think it's a quarter pen, but it's a pen. This like line that's these like sort of like White Knight's Royal Blue and White Knight's Lavender and Holbein Lavender. And these ones up here, like, I desperately want to love these colors. Like, they're some of my favorite colors in real life. I never reach for them. I have so many of them, and I never reach for them unless I'm doing something very, very specific. I wish I used them more. So if you've got ideas for things to do with them, let me know. I am tentatively doing Amber Lane art and Madeline can't remember what Madeline Candle is. Their 100-day painting challenge, which theoretically starts tomorrow. I'm tentatively doing it all 100 days. So maybe I will slowly work my way through all the colors in my palette. Maybe that will be part of the challenge as well. How many colors in my palette can I use in 100 days? Just in the challenge. Because I'm also going to be doing Paint Your Style. That's not going anywhere. Well, there haven't been Paint Your Styles since I think October. But they're coming back. I've sort of picked a color palette for this week's. So it should hopefully be filmed. I think it's Sunday today. Hopefully I'm going to be filming it tomorrow. I was hoping I'd have the palette cleaned up by then, but I'm just going to live with having a messy palette for a few more days, just in case I find any color swatches while I tidy. But I wanted to get rid of this bin of swatches so I didn't accidentally lose them while I was tidying. That's sort of my worst nightmare when it comes to a studio tidy up, is misplacing my swatch bin and then having colors missing. I switch these two. That's your home. That's your home. Right. Our three blues. Our three very similar blues. Which are 1, 2, 3. 1, 3. There. They're all finding their home in the same place. And I know that there's only 3 of them. So we're actually just like going to see these 3 over here into this new sheet. And then I'll move everything else. We've got 2 indigos and one is gray. Indigo is another color that I wish I liked more than I seem to. Like, theoretically, I really like it. I like Indigo Genuine. I'm just not a fan of mixed indigos. Insert rose, insert one. Insert rose, insert one, insert rose, insert one row. We have Cosmic, Schminke, Galaxy Blue, Larkspur, I can't spell. This is a surprise to absolutely no one. This is sort of like one of those, like, I want to start the new year organized things. I did the same thing in the fall. Like, I wanted to start out the fall being all organized, and I do like it. I like when I get to start a series of projects with a really organized palette. And so heading into 2024, heading into the 100-day project, I wanted a palette that was sort of back in order and didn't make my brain crazy. And so taking the time to organize all the swatches and make sure that everything was correct, as insane as it feels, is actually the right decision. I know that. It's just spending all the time to do it is sometimes a little bit difficult, especially when like the rest of the studio is chaotic. And so I know I've got pure pigment swatches to do. I know I've got to do pigment numbers in my sheet for all the new Cosmic Creations colors. I know I've got to figure out the plan for paper for the 100-day project, because it wasn't until last night that I committed to doing it, and I don't quite know how I want to do it. I don't know if I want to do it the way I've done other challenges in the past, where they're all miniature, but at the same time, that seems like it could be both really hard and sort of make it easier. I don't know really what way I want to approach it. So this time organizing swatches is also like giving me time to think about that project. When I started it, I was leaning towards not doing it miniature, but the longer I sit here and sort stuff, the more I go, I genuinely like doing the mini projects. They're fun, they're enjoyable, and I think it's sort of probably the right way to approach the 100-day project. It's a longer time commitment. The longest I've committed to the challenges is 30 days. In the past, I did one in October, and I started one in February last year, and then I got sick, so I finished it, I think, in May. Both were quite a lot of fun. I don't know that I can commit to doing the same challenge I did last year while doing the 100-day challenge as much as I love the February challenge I did last year. I also don't know if she's hosting it again this year, but we'll see. So as of now, I am leaning towards doing 100 of the miniature squares. Maybe this format without rounded corners, because that is easier to do. Like, the corner punch is a separate punch, so it means punching a square and then punching each corner 4 times. That is something to think about, is doing the miniatures but not rounding their corners, and doing 100 days of miniatures. Yeah. I hadn't actually really thought about it out rounding the corners. Do I always round the corners? Or did I leave them unrounded? No, I think I left them unrounded for October, the Halloween one. Something to think about. At the end of the day, the point of the challenges is to be enjoyable. They are also a challenge. And so committing to something for 100 days is always a challenge, but committing to something for 100 days in a form you enjoy doing is significantly easier. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. We still have turquoises, greens, pinks, and purples and neutrals to go, so there's plenty of time to answer questions if people have questions. If there are questions about specific colors or just like questions in general, I'm happy to answer them. I do find it interesting how colors that have the same name can look different. So I now have Breeze from both Cosmic Creations and Artistic Isle. So both handmade shops. Both just like random names for a color. And one is this sort of granulating blue that leans more blue than turquoise. So it's found its home with the blues. And the other is like a turquoise. Breeze from Artistic Isle, Breeze from Cosmic Creations. It's just interesting to see the color difference in the two. The reflection's awful. I apologize. But we have overhead lighting and there's nothing I can do about it. These, I think, all find their home there. I think the only one that finds its home with the blue greens is this one. It definitely doesn't find its home with the greens. So I think you find your home in there. So let's do easy. Where do you find your home? I think you find your home back here. And you find your home after Lisbon. Lisbon. Insert rows, row below. Cosmic Creations. And so this was one of the colors I used in the reel, or the short of the new holographic colors I posted today. This is a reel of it on Instagram, a short on YouTube. These all find their home in here. I'm pretty sure. So let's start pulling out stuff. I do love Ocean Breeze. It's one of the newer like Cosmic Creations light colors, but it is super pretty. Sail of Blue, which I've got a bunch of here, and that's at the bottom of this page as well, is one of those colors that I've desperately tried to love. I like oranges, and just can't find one I like. I've tried about 6 or 7, and I just can't find one I actually like. So I think it's time I just admit that I really don't like the color. It's sometimes useful in mixes. I find it really overpowering. I would rather use a Prussian blue if I need a dark turquoise color, or like I genuinely rather use any other turquoise color than a phthalo blue. It's just not my favorite color. But I have tried a bunch in my quest to find one I like. Whereas cobalt turquoise, I have a bunch of them because I genuinely really like them. It is such a fun color to mix with. It's probably one of my favorite colors to mix with when I'm just like mixing for the fun of mixing. A lot of the times when I'm mixing in the studio, it's not even for a project, it's just to play with color. I have so many mixing palettes just around my desk from playing for projects, and there are also reference cards for projects in this file, but there's also just like so many different mixing palettes, and that's probably about a quarter of the stack that sits in a bin next to my desk. But when I'm planning out a project or when I just like want to play around with colors, I have sort of a rubric of an idea that doesn't take a whole lot of brain energy. I will say that the Michael Wilcox Damascene Red shade is probably my favorite phthalo blue. I really don't like the light version, but I don't despise the darker version. This Winsor Newton Aqua Green, I really couldn't find a spot for it to fit in my palette. It doesn't look as off on camera, but in real life, like it looks way too green to be in that spot. I just couldn't find anywhere else in my palette that it fit. And so it made its home there because I needed somewhere for it to go. And in all honesty, like it works pretty well there, like when I'm working on a project. And like it's a logical spot to look for it. It just doesn't, this is what's around it. It doesn't, it seems too green, but like it also doesn't fit up here where it looks like it should go. It's too dark. So instead it lives here where it's too green to be there, but it's also too dark to go anywhere else really. So we have 6 colors to add in here. Lucky number 10. I'm sure this is in the dark blue. I'm not sure that this is in the dark blue. They're two purples. Okay. Except you're actually are the next. Make sure I can't have your home with the blues. Okay. Oh, you don't actually fit too badly there. Cool. That's going to be your home. Duffy number 10. Duffy number 10. Sure. So, yeah. There you go. And you go there. Okay. We have breeze after sky. She didn't put it. No, this one, but it's a different sky. And before verdigris. Oh boy. Somewhere spelled Cosmic Creations off the sheet because it is no longer all of Cosmic Creations. After turquoise, insert, so one right below, blue, spinning, creations. After ocean deep, we have vagaries. Then we have Daniel Smith Mind Journaling. And some regular. Mind Green, which is the bottom silver. My Beam. Got these, which also needs a dot of silver. I bet it's dotted any of these. No, none of those new 30 fish have been dotted. Oh, that's a later me problem. This is Guppy 10. So Guppies is the 31 Purple Fish subscription program. So you subscribe. Subscriptions for 2024 actually happened yesterday. And I did end up getting a spot. I went back and forth for a little bit. But I really enjoyed it this year. And so I decided to do it again for next year. And I have done the quarter set again. I did it this year as a quarter, which isn't how I prefer to buy paints, but because I don't know what the colors are, they're a mystery every month. A quarter felt like it was the safest way to buy them. So the Guppy colors sometimes are named and sometimes they're just blank on the back. And so any that are blank on the back, I just labeled as Guppy and then the month. So Guppy 10 was October. And at some point we'll see Guppy 9, which was September, which is hot pink, which is really pretty. But for now, it's just some very pretty colors, and I'm quite happy with the spot for next year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There, this goes here, this goes here, this goes here, 1, 2. I did start the year with 2 paint subscriptions. I've ended it with only 1. I only ended up keeping Guppies because it's a yearly subscription. And then I liked it so much I subscribed for another year. Because with paint subscriptions, most of the time you don't know what you're going to get. And so some of them are done by like Patreon or fee, so it's month to month. And so if you don't like it, you can just cancel whenever. Guppies though you buy for the entire year. And she's quite a small number. I think this year it was 40 something. Last year there were, I want to say like 35 people. Because really it just gives paint shops a guarantee of being able to play around with test colors. Specifically with Guppies, it's colors that aren't shop colors. And so you get new colors every month. Or in the case of Guppies, every other month, because they're mailed out bi-monthly. Made progress. Oh no, we still got greens. We have made progress though. Where do you belong? You belong here. Why are you popping? No. Did you not actually end up in a sheet? I might cry. You know, you just like lost half of the episode. It's always the top ones that pop out. It is my storm break. I have it screwed up. Normally I'd be putting these away as I go, but I'm not doing them in order, which means I can't put them away as I go. So instead, we're just having a great time. And I'm going to probably lose my mind when I try and put these away and some fall out. But it's why updating the spreadsheet as you go and not being lazy is really important. Because it's always when I'm lazy and don't update the spreadsheet that like half of the sheet falls out and then I'm stuck. Because I don't actually know what the order is of the new stuff. So, not being lazy today, we're updating the spreadsheet as we go. And at some point going to have to do picking numbers. That doesn't seem super enjoyable. So instead, I might just, once this is all put away, organize the 31 purple fish colors. Because I know I'm missing some of my mini swatch cards that go in the tins. No, that doesn't actually have to be done. I'm going to cut cards for the 100-day project. We're gonna actually do stuff that like moves projects forward. I'm gonna cut cards for the 100-day project. We're gonna tidy. I'm gonna do things that move things forward versus doing things that make my brain happy. So no getting swatch cards for good things as much as I want them. They aren't actually a necessity. They just make my life a bit easier. That's blues. This is greens. It's yellow greens. This is yellow greens. This is green greens. That belongs in, yes, spruce belongs in green greens. So these are all yellow greens. Where is your home, Spruce? And I move you to your home without moving everything. Yes, I can, because you live back here. You go after Russian green. Oh, the revelation. It really makes my life easier. Nope, don't pop out, little thing. What are you? You are Spruce, and you are going after Russian green. Insert row for below. Cosmic Creations. Oh, oh, not as bad as I thought. Not as bad as the blues. You'd think by now I know where the top of this screen is on the floor. I have yet to figure it out though. So. Full yellow. So chose. Milkweed. Greener. You're gonna see a lot of greener. I really like them. I've done an entire video on how much I like them. It's a great color. I'm realizing I'm referencing a whole bunch of videos, and later me is absolutely gonna hate myself as I have to reference all of these videos for people to find. But I do genuinely really like greener. I also really like Phthalo Yellow Green. I bought it thinking I wasn't gonna like it, so I only bought, I can't remember if I bought a mini pan or a quarter pan, but I bought almost none of it, thinking that I just wasn't gonna like it. I just wanted to see what the really light PG7 looked like, and in the end, I really, really like it. So, at some point, I'm going to end up picking up a tube of it. It keeps not making it onto my list though, just because I keep forgetting to add it. So, it's going to be a bit before we stop. The next step, once this is all done and organized, is to actually probably, no, I need to cut swatches. Nothing else matters. I need to do swatch codes. Well, lots of other things matter. But I need to cut swatch codes to move forward with the 100-day project. I do like this yellow-green section. Like, it's nicely moody. It makes me quite happy. There are some sections of my book that I find myself not reaching for because they don't inspire me as much. The green section that has had a color slide out, of course it's the top square again, is definitely one of those sections that I just don't find myself reaching for super often. It's got Thylacine green and cobalt green and chromium green oxide in it. And I find that I just don't reach for that section in my palette super often. This section of greens, though, I reach for all the time, and I love getting to use. It's so much fun. I love all the variation. We've got everything from like black greens to the like fluorescent tea. Some of them probably glow under black light greens. Plus some that really granulate and have great texture like autumn green and dirty olive and dirty yellow and kelp haze and shire olive. It's just such a fun section of the palette, which I find really interesting. Like, I don't actually like green all that much in day-to-day life, but as watercolors go, green watercolors are some of my favorites. I love the variations you can get in green. I love the mixed greens that exist. I love the granulation of greens, like grass haze. I don't think I've got a 31 purple fish green that I don't love. So, as much as I don't actually like green in day-to-day life, I do love green watercolors and have a lot of them because I genuinely enjoy painting with them and they're so much fun to use. We are going to go there. Leaf, 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 leaf. And go there. Either way, these are all moving free. Like the home of this green. My goal is to not have to call mom for like stumped so that this on occasion happen. Yes, it could, like if it was more opaque, I would be putting it in here. It's just the lack of opacity has me leaning away from there and up into here, but I don't think I'm right. I think it's actually there. So we have forest olive is foregrass haze. And we scroll all the way up. No, what's first? Was it urban green? That's green. Yeah, urban green. Insert rose, row below. Okay. Pistachio. Insert row. Insert row above. Please. Where have I spelled? How many times have I spelled Cosmic Creations wrong? So this is not giving me the option to put the word. And grass haze. Insert row. Row above. This is Shrinky again. And this is forest olive. Which I actually really like. I don't like many of the Shrinky super granulating greens. I think there are lots of handmade super granulating greens, like 31 Purple Fish ones, which I guess aren't technically super granulating greens. They're just granulating greens that look really cool, that are more interesting to paint with. But I have to say, forest olive is the exception to that. I genuinely enjoy painting with it. So, it's great. Almost done pinks and purples. Which is arguably one of the challenging sections of this, potentially, because there are so many new pinks and purples that I've added to this palette between Cosmic Creations and the 31 Purple Fish grab bag of tester pinks and purples I got. So, it will be an interesting 3 sections for sure, because my pinks and purples are sorted into blue violets, violets, and red violets, the same way that Tombow markers are, which I do quite like. Like, it's a good way to sort them, because it means that the pinks and purples that are around each other are sort of the same color family. The other thing about the new sheets without the cutout is that the swatches don't get cut on the corners of the cutouts, which is really nice. am definitely going to need the references for the putting away the pinks and purples before we put swatches out, because I have pulled so many things out of this section over the past little bit. Are these all the pinks? Nope. That's okay. So this is, let's put these all out first. Okay. So these are definitely swatches that I already know how to. Like Potter's Pink has a home. Lots of these though do not have homes. And we're going to need to find homes. I'm just gonna make a pile of things I know already have homes. Okay. Those are all new. So these all stay home in the palette somewhere. Question is, where are your homes? We're gonna find them. Just make sure that I didn't get anything in here. Nope, 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 nope. Okay. Watercolor collection. Let's start with violets. Or I guess blue violet. I already know that it starts with an orangey pastel purple. That's just what it starts with. The question is there anything else missing from it? And I think the answer is no. Pansy, though, is going to find its home in it, and so is grab bag number 4. So these two are going to find home here. Is anything missing from here? I don't think so, unless there's something that goes after blue violet or violet black. If there is, I don't have the swatch for it. There's nothing. All right, I'm liking this already. Okay, into the pinks. The pinks have more holes than anything else. Starting here, I think this is mimosa. I might be wrong, but I think this is mimosa. What's after pomegranate? Oh, it is mimosa. Magenta haze, rose, ruby. What goes that? Ruby. Crimson light. Natural magenta. Zester claret. Loganberry. Bergbro. Diamond violet. Galaxy pink. Cranberry. Dragon fruit. Rose pink. Dusty rose. Potter's pink. Oh, Dutch tulip. Let me flip this over. And it's magenta gray. And rosé. Now, let's do the fun part, which is figuring out what has homes. So these two, definitely. Yeah, those two definitely have their homes up there. This has its home in there. Sangria has its home in there. I'd say so does Tranquility. And probably that. And probably that. Probably that. I would say the rest of these pinks all have their homes in the pink section. So, these out. This one goes in bolder colors, which is why it's not going in here. Bolder colors are in their own section because they don't play super nicely with other brands of paint. So they live in their own color section of the book. Eventually, I will learn where I can play swatches where you can see them. Imperial purple. Oh no, that's indigo. I do love indigo purple. Should I do a mixing purple series like I did a mixing gray series? There are so many fun granulating purples. I feel like it could be cool. For somebody who loves the color purple, I find that I don't love purple paint as much as I love some other colors of paint. Like I love green, whereas I don't love green in day-to-day life. With purple, I find that I love it. It's my favorite color. I'm not as big of a fan of purple paint and purple ink as I am of purple as being my favorite color, which I do find really interesting. There's some great granulating purples though. Like lilac mist is great. Mineral violet's great. Shipwreck, ash mist, any of the 31 purple fish granulating purples are excellent. They are hard to get your hands on, but they are worth it. And I think in October and April, she does just purple palettes. And so it's a great time to sort of get whatever purples you want from her. That's how I got a lot of my purples was last April in her purple palette collection. The Rosa Gallery's granulating purples and pinks and all those like deep ones. I'm not a huge fan of their like regular line of colors. I find them a bit too opaque for my liking, but their like more granulating ones, their black gray or their blank gray colors are quite good. I do like them. Whereas like even their quinacridone gold is quite opaque. And so I'm not a huge fan of that. That goes up there. That goes there. Let's do this here. Do it. 31 for fish. Goes out the mushroom. Which one it is. So all the grab bag colors were unlabeled, which means I just stuck grab bag and a number on the bottom of them based on the order I unwrapped them. Which isn't how I like to do sort of grab bag colors. I tend to make up names for them, but 31 Purple Fish has so many colors that I decided not to make up names for my palette for them and just like label them grab bag 1 through 4, 1 through 6, and I will just continue that theme. I don't buy grab bags all that often. The difference with the Black Friday grab bags was that they were all new test colors, and so it was sort of a guaranteed way to be able to purchase a grab bag if you had a large collection of your paints, which I do. I've got about 80 colors from her, maybe more. Oh, we've got 3 shades left. We've got pinks, we've got violets, and we've got grays. We're so close. We're almost 3 hours. 2.5 hours into this. Which is about as long as this project takes. This project, like, it's a commitment when I, decide to actually put things away. It is not a short process, and this is just like putting the swatches away and then putting their names in like the main list of the spreadsheet so that it's in palette order. I still have to go through and add all the colors we have added to the individual pages for each brand. And so that's going to take another couple hours, but I'm probably going to do that tucked into bed with a cup of tea while watching a movie in the background because it's one of those tasks that like takes a really long time, and I find that if I don't have something going on in the background, I start to get a little bit stir crazy. I'm gonna need a new sheet for this because I think I've only got 2 empty spots and I have many new colors. 6. This is another, like, I wish I liked it color, is the White Nights Wisteria. Is the Lilac Daniel Smith Wisteria and White Nights Lavender. Lilac. So, it's just something that I wish I liked as much as I do. Like, I like it on paper. I just find I never reach for it in peace. Cobalt Violet is another one of those colors where I just sort of haven't found a way to love it. I wish I did. I got it in, yeah, I got it in the deep version as well, and I got the Cosmic Creations version. And I just don't love it. I especially don't like the deep version. I find it a bit too sort of fluorescent-y. Yintico is something that I haven't actually talked about having because I was really disappointed with it, and after talking to other people that got it from Schmincke as well, I wasn't the only one. I ended up reaching out to Schmincke about it, who put me in touch with their labs team, who I had a couple emails back and forth with about it. And while there was a quote-unquote resolution to my problem, it didn't feel super satisfactory, and so I ended up not making any content about it because it didn't sort of feel like a satisfactory solution, and it also sort of didn't feel the same way. Like, Yin Min is so amazing, like, it's so granulating and so much fun to paint with, and I just didn't have that experience with the Intel. So I'm waiting for it to come up on the market from hopefully other brands or more handmade paint shops, to be able to actually purchase them from somebody else and try it out and see if it's just a Schmincke problem or to see if it's a pigment in general problem. I have a feeling though, based on what I've seen from other people's swatches and talking with other people, that it's actually just a pigment thing. So, a little bit disappointing. I was quite looking forward to sort of a granulating pinky red. I think lots of us who bought it also thought it was going to be a lot more red, and as you can see, it is very clearly a pink. Like, this is a cobalt violet, and it fits in really well with it. So here are the sticks that we put homes. It's going there. Oh, I bet you this home was actually up here somewhere. No. Oh. Great. So we have lilac, and then we've grab bag number 5. One. Come up violet. Insert roll bag. Okay. We have grab bag 1 after analysis. One, which tranquility. Tranquility is after cobalt violet. Insert blue. Mineral violet. Insert those below. 31 fish. And 6. Insert from below. Single. Alright. Next goes the bonnet. This goes here. This goes here. We've only got 2 left. We have black and grays, and we have pink. And we're done. Oh, and I've just dumped a whole bunch of blacks and grays. That's fun. That's a later problem. Oh. Okay. Pinks. Oh. Why isn't that color labeled? Oh, that's gonna be fun to figure out at some point. Is it labeled in here? Ah, it is labeled in here. I just didn't label my swatch card. Where's a pen? There's a pen. Let's fix this. Yeah, I'll fix it. It's actually Guppy number 6. Which is one of my, no, I didn't start that thing. Pink Salt is one of my favorite bright pinks. It's super fun. Quinacridone Red is another one of those really fun colors that I actually find myself reaching for more than I thought I would. I bought it for a project, but I actually use it. There are some things that I buy for projects and then I find myself not reaching for, and then there are other things I buy for projects that I actually use, which is always nice. It's a nice bonus when they actually find a home in my palette and get used a bunch. I have a whole bunch of this color that looks very similar from a whole bunch of different brands because I do like it. I like it for moody skies. This sort of like dusty pink color. And so I've got it from sort of everyone. I've got it from 31 Purple Fish. I've got it from Cosmic Creations. I've got it from JSL. I've got it from Art of Soil. I've got it from Beyond Indigo. I do have to say, I love the Mirakai version. I am so sad she no longer makes paints because Eternal Rose is in my top 10 favorite watercolors. I didn't include it in the palette video though, just because it's no longer made. So for that palette video, I did try to stick only to colors you can still buy because it felt odd to include colors to shops that no longer existed. But Eternal Rose has been a favorite for a very long time. I think it's been in my palette now for 3 years. It's one of the very first handmade paints I bought back in 2020. My Potter's pinks in this section are split up by tone. So my lighter Potter's pinks are at the beginning of my pink section, and my darker ones are at the end. I did that just because that's how I prefer to have my pinks organized, is sort of by color. Whereas in the single pigment section, all the Potter's pinks are together. They're all the same pigment. So it didn't matter to me that in this section they were split up. Because if I wanted to look at just at Potter's pinks, I would probably go and reference my single pigment sheets. Galaxy Pink is something that I see quite often when people are putting together a palette. And I bought it for this Shunde series, and I hate it. It doesn't seem all that different to me from a Potter's pink, and it just sort of seems boring. Like, I'd rather have, if I'm putting together a palette, I'd rather have something like a Potter's pink. But especially a dark one like Soliloquy, where it tonally isn't all that different from Galaxy Pink. It doesn't granulate all that differently. And other than the fact that like Schmincate Galaxy Pink has a little bit of a purple undertone to it, like it doesn't actually look that different. And the Potter's Pink is far more versatile in a palette. What palette was it? It was the $300 palette video where I ended up making that switch because I was not going to put together a palette with a color I absolutely hated. And then when I did the 19 by 19 mixing palette for that video, I hated the palette, so it didn't matter in the end. It's sort of sad. This is Guppy 6. I'm gonna label this quickly. Yeah. Normally I would do the metallic book as well, but we pulled a whole bunch of colors out of it, and I want to just sit with the colors we pulled out for a couple days before I put the new stuff swatch-wise into it and like make sure that I'm happy with those swaps. Your home is up there somewhere. I think your home is like there. Hibiscus is going to go there. Wild pink. And cosmos. And purple rose. Cranberry. Cherry haze. Well, let's type these in. We have Ash Rose, then we have grab bag number 2. This one is Red Rose. Then we have Wild Rose by Cosmic Creations After Rose of Galleries. Insight Rose Rubber. Not that I like that. So, the nice thing about all these being in is that I can move them and on individual cards. So if I have set this up and I decide I absolutely hate it, I can always move things around, and I do often do that. Because sometimes things just don't work where you put them. Like Cosmos, no, you're too pink for that. That's actually gonna go there. Okay. Coordinate checking. Insert below. 31 per fish. Copy 9. This is going to form a monster. October Rose is going after being magenta. Loganberry is certainly below. And then cherry haze. Something else you can put. Innocent and fish and fish. Okay. There's what happens. So hibiscus actually moves here. And we go insert row above. This is Cosmos and Cosmic Creations. Okay. And now we move how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Where does Guppy 9 go? Next we move that. Guppy 9 goes after just before Peony. I can brain. So, oh, there's only one left after this. It's just grays. I can do grays. Maybe. I'm totally not doing the house today. Or getting anything else done. At least this will be tidied up. And my brain will feel less chaotic. Because everything will have a home again. I do love having everything on individual swatch cards. So it means I can move things around. I don't understand how people can have everything swatched out on the same sheet. And you just can't move things around if they don't feel right. I move things around constantly because they don't feel quite right in there. think actually not being able to do that would stress me out. It's interesting to see how different Wild Pink is than all the other pinks in my palette. I knew it looked different than when I was swatching it, but I didn't realize how much lighter and how much brighter it was than everything else until I was putting out these swatches. I'm gonna have to figure out what colors are going to be out of my Pantone palette for January this year. Last year, I loved doing the Pantone palette in January. I'm not super inspired by this year's Pantone color though, so I'm going to have to figure out what color I'm going to use as the peach. It's called Peach Fuzz. And I'm gonna have to see if what I can color from my palette to be the right peach for Peach Fuzz. Where are your homes? Random phrase on an adventure. And then we'll color all these new grays. Actually, just swap all these out. Only some of these are actually new. Actually, oh yeah, like very few of these are actually new. Yellow. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Grave gray. Pearl gray. Cloudy haze. Winter's gray. Gray star. Brave gray. Rango. Cobalt gray. Ash moon. Courtney's gray. Blue granite. Lunar moon. Jane's gray. Hematite. Clogs. Random gray 2022. I believe Jackson's just released more tubes of it online last night. I was hoping they'd do a 2023 version. They did pastels instead, which, while still pretty, are not a medium I work in. Where's Little Bat? There's Little Bat, which is probably my favorite gray currently. Ontario, goes here. Wig, eggshell, ash, Dave's gray, slate, Aquarius, pebble, zinc white, yellow gray. This is permanent white. Let's fix zinc. I'm putting it back in. Oh, this is James Black, not James Gray. I was really confused. Lunar Black. It's here. James Black. So we actually only have 3 colors that are going in here, which are all grays. 2 from Schmincke, 1 from Small. And then we're done. Then everything that lives in my palette has gone away. Actually, more than just what lives in my palette, because this includes all like the weirdly shaped palettes. I'm realizing that the Holbein swatches should have dots as well. They're all mini pans. They don't live in my palette. They live in the squarey plant palette. What we're gonna call it, because I don't want to get flagged by YouTube. Pebble. I love Pebble. Pebble is so great for single pan gray pieces. One of my favorite pieces to do a single pan painting with. Really, any granulating gray works really well for a single pan painting. The first time I'd seen it done was with actually Random Gray 2022. When I was trying to decide if I wanted to add it to my palette or not, I found a video of somebody doing it on YouTube who did a brilliant painting using only that color, and that's what sold me on the color and made me fall in love with granulating grays that was made up of many, many pigments. And it is still one of my favorite grays. I know lots of people say that blacks are unnecessary. I like them. They make my life easier. And depending on what I'm doing, like some of the paint your styles, like you're working with a totally black background if you want a matte black background. And depending on what pigments you're using to mix it, like you're not going to get a flat matte background, but with a pure black pigment, you might, with chinchilla and with lamp black, like you're going inky, like you're going to get that matte black background. And so I do have quite a collection of blacks, just depending on what I'm working on. So Lunar Black is my favorite because no matter what you add Lunar Black to, it just looks pretty. I find it like makes everything sort of granulating and separating. And then you can just like chinchilla looks so flat as a black. I absolutely love it. I used it for, there was a paint your style that was a waffle where the plate was totally black, and the chinchilla was the black I used. So, what are you gonna sort this? We've got our warm grays, we've got our cool grays, we've got our warm grays, so we've got our more green grays, and we've got our bluey grays. Because I am nothing if not, I don't sort them properly, and so we've got like our yellowy greens, and then we've just got like our bluey purples. Where I think, whatever. They're sorted. They make sense to me. Nope. You're gonna find your home up here somewhere, I think. Let's just look at your diluted version of urban gray, actually. Just make sure. Yeah, you're pretty neutral. You're gonna find your home there. Sure, what else is there? You, on the other hand, are going to go. No. Yeah, you're definitely up here somewhere. I think go to. Yeah, I don't like you there. For sure. Okay. Great. 1, 2, 3. Let's say you don't do that. Okay. Schminke urban gray after cobalt gray. Insert. Those were below. Galaxy black after James gray. Then we have. I've lost the last one. Urban gray by Ron Smalls outfit material. Yes. All right. One, two, three. I can't believe this is going to start me over. Oh, I can't believe this is the final page of this book. But I'm not doing the palettes today because I want to wait until I make sure the ones I pulled are the ones I actually want to get rid of. I'm probably going to do another flip through of the book later on this week and just like double check that there isn't anything that I didn't pull on the first run through that can probably be gotten rid of. It's a pretty small stack I've pulled, and there are probably many others. So that's what's up next. Let's go and see that book again at some point, but I think for now, once this is put back together, it's time to go upstairs and put on a movie and start to move all of this information into the individual tabs and type up pigment numbers and create a plan for the 100-day project. Because I think while I've been doing this, I've talked myself into it officially. I had like mostly talked myself into it last night, but there was still small part of me that was going, like, 30-day projects are hard enough. Like, why are you committing to something that's 100 days? Oh, where are where's your home, Eggshell? We'll find your home. At least it's the diluted version. So the full version's in this somewhere already. But I think I've talked myself into a 100-day project. So that'll be a fun project. We'll see if I make it all 100 days. Yeah, that'll be interesting to figure out. Where is Eggshell? There is Eggshell. I'm going to pull this book over. These pages are good. I have a bit of a binder they can go into. And so they're just going to move into a different binder. It's as simple as that. Here's the black and the grays. And in this pile of things, that's a page of oranges. That's the final page of oranges, and that's the first page of oranges. There. There. And there. Now, I'm using the reds. Page 1. Which is the actual first pages. I need the last page of pinks, which is this. First page of pinks. Last page of violets. First page of violets. Nope. This one. Blue violet. Blue violet. Choosing the blues. This is the last page of blues. So we need a middle page. That's the middle page of blues. Yeah, we're already losing one out of the top. That is what I dislike about these ones with the hole in them, is that sometimes... Oh no, this is one without the hole in them. Huh. The ones with the hole in them are better. I just dislike them. Because they've got a hole in them, like the swatches. And this is the first page of blue greens. This is the second page of blue greens. This is the first page of, and only page of green blues. This is greens. Here's the last page of yellow greens. Here's the first page of yellow greens. Here's the first page of yellows. You get to snap this, and your home is right here. And we're done. Oh, we're done. No, we're not. Never mind. Let's see how quickly I can put these all away. Flip these so that I can see all the names. And then let's see how fast we can slide all these into their homes. I forgot I hadn't put away the diluted swatches yet for all the new colors we just put into the book. So I didn't want to put them out as we were putting things into the book. So it starts with, I want to say it starts with spruce. It does. There's spruce, Rivenite medium, Rivenite, nope, Bay Breeze, and Mayan green are both before that. There's Bay Breeze. Mayan green. Oh, it's on the other side of Bay Breeze. That's fun. Rivenite blue is here. Puppy number 10. I can't remember where I stuck you. Stick you in there. Stick you in here somewhere. I feel like. Oh, you're right there. I'm looking at this. I'm just blind. Grab bag number 4. Grab bag number 3. Grab bag number, nope, that's what it is. Grab bag number 5. Grab bag number 1. Grab bag number 6. Nope, maybe the sheets with the hole is better. Because these ones are all popping out. Oh yeah, I guess the hole would give it more room to expand. I'm gonna have to pop it here with these with a hole punch. We're losing swatch cards out of these. Sangria. Like they're easier to put the cards into, but the cards aren't staying put. Number 9. Number 2. October Rose. Cherry Haze. We have oh yeah, here over here. And finally Twin Gold Deep, which is off the page. And we're done. It's done. I don't know where the blue binder is that all these sheets are going into, but the blue binders somewhere, and that's where these are going to find their home. That's where these belong. I think it's just going to be easier, which is going to make swatches 4 binders, but I think I like that plan better than what I'm doing right now. Just making this binder so full, and now we have 2 binders that are just swatch cards, 1 binder that is just palettes, and then, oh, these were the palettes from swatching out my entire watercolor palette months ago. And then we'll have 1 binder that is single pigment color swatches. So, thank you for hanging out and watching and just sort of chilling. Yeah, it's probably how I'm going to do like a palette reorganization as well. But it's definitely a fun way to do it. It's far more fun than just sitting by myself. And I feel quite productive now. Tired, but quite productive. And I'm quite happy that things have gone away. I'm also really happy I found sheets. I was worried I wasn't going to find sheets. And I was just going to be stuck. But there were sheets, so everything was okay. So, thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging out. If you have any specific video requests for 2024, leave them down below or shoot me a message over on Instagram. I have like a rough idea of what I want to film in 2024, especially Q1, but I am open to suggestions from other people. And if you have any specific suggestions for mixing videos, like the Mixing Grays or the Schminke series, let me know. I'm always looking for new sort of ideas. I've got a couple in the works, but nothing really finalized yet. So if there's some specific one you'd like to see, let me know, and I can see if I can get it done, how I feel about it, etc.